God has graced us in this world with an abundance of sweet nectars, as if to remind us of our true home in the heavenly abodes. As we strive to be more conscious of what we eat and to be more considerate of the environment and sentient beings, we look towards more compassionate means of sustenance. White sugar, powdered confectioner's sugar, refined brown sugar, maple syrup, and honey are all sweeteners that can, unfortunately, fall outside of the realm of compassionate eating. In today's show on vegetarianism, the noble way of living, we will focus on how to identify vegan sweeteners to delight your taste buds and also remind you of the sweetness of God's love. Many centuries ago, in the warm tropical climates of South and Southeast Asia, people learned to chew the fibrous sugarcane stalk to extract its sweetness. Around 350 AD, Indians during the Gupta dynasty discovered a process for crystallizing sugar. 4 centuries later, Arabian entrepreneurs built upon the Indian sugar refinery techniques and introduced the first large-scale sugar mills, refineries, and factories, leading us to the modern sugar industry. The Arabs and the Berbers then brought sugar into Europe through Spain, while Christian crusaders brought it back from the Holy Lands. This sweet salt was quickly adopted by the Europeans and brought with them to the New World, leading to sugar plantations in Central, South, and North American tropics. In 1747, German chemist Andreas Marggraf discovered sugar could be created from beetroot by identifying that it too contained sucrose, the same substance that gives sugarcane its sweetness. The first beet sugar refinery was set up, paving the way for processed sugar to be made from plants grown in cooler regions such as Northern Europe and North America. Although beet sugar and cane sugar are indistinguishable in their taste, refined sugar cane is sometimes not vegan. To remove all inorganic impurities and create a refined white sugar, the sugarcane is often filtered through animal bone char. Even many brown sugars and light brown sugars are not vegan, as they may be created by refining sugarcane, then adding back some molasses, the byproduct of the sugar refining process. Confectioner's sugar, a fine powdered sugar, is also subject to filtration with bone char, as it is created by finely pulverizing white sugar. For the conscious consumer, fortunately, not all cane sugar is processed through bone char. Since the 1950s, granular carbon has also been used to refine cane sugar, making it suitable for vegans. Furthermore, 100% beet sugar is not filtered with bone char and can be considered vegan. In the United States, sugar products listed as organic are also not refined using bone char. Few sugar companies identify if their sugar source is from beets or sugarcane, nor do they identify the processing method, making it rather difficult to tell the difference. You can contact the sugar company and inquire about the source and whether the sugar has been processed with granular carbon instead of bone char. Towards the end of this program, for your convenience, we will list some companies that offer vegan sugars made from beets or sugarcane that are not filtered using bone char. Some brown sugars are unrefined and may be vegan. One of these is muscovado sugar. Muscovado is commonly used in Latin America or Southeast Asia, where it is known by a variety of names, including gur, jaggery, and kansari in South Asia, and as rapadura or pamela or piloncillo in Latin America. In the United Kingdom, it is referred to as Barbados sugar. To make muscovado, sugarcane is washed, chopped, and soaked to extract the cane juice. Then it is heated with a little lime. Fresh coconut is grated and sprinkled into the warming cane juice so that the fat helps to keep the juice from foaming. The cane juice thickens and crystallizes, after which it is poured into coconut shells to solidify and sun-dry. Raw sugar is processed like white sugar, except without the final extraction process, thereby making them vegan-friendly. There are several types of raw sugars that go by different names in different regions. Turbinado sugar is a fine-textured, moist vegan sugar. Demerara sugar, named after a colony in Guyana, where its extraction process was first done, has a dry, coarser texture. Today, most Demerara-type sugar is processed in Mauritius, although it should not be confused with London Demerara, which may not be vegan. London Demerara is a simple refined white sugar which can be sourced from vegan beet sugar, cane sugar, or non-vegan cane sugar. This name overlap highlights the importance of knowing what you are buying to make sure your sugar is truly animal-free. For those who want to forego beet and cane sugar altogether, there are many wonderfully sweet and natural options, some of which are even appropriate for diabetics and those needing to limit carbohydrates. When we return from washing our fruits, we'll explore together some of these sweet alternatives. Welcome back to Vegetarianism, the noble way of living. On today's episode, we have been discussing vegan sugars and sweeteners, nature's divine nectars. Each region of the world seems to have its own approach to bring the sweetness of life into everyday eating. In Japan, brown rice syrup, or simply rice syrup, has been delighting palates for ages. Brown rice syrup is only half as sweet as sugar with a molasses taste and may be best combined with other sweeteners. It can be a good vegan sugar substitute with a butterscotch-like taste that is enjoyable in cookies, crisps, pies, and puddings. Brown rice syrup is available in Asian stores and many health food stores. Maple syrup, which is derived from the sap of maple trees in Canada and the northeastern part of the United States, is another favorite sweetener, which on occasion is not vegan. Nearly all manufacturers use a little bit of vegetable oil during the syrup processing to reduce foam. A few companies still use old methods when lard or milk fat took the place of vegetable oil. Look for maple syrups labeled kosher. These are vegan and processed with vegetable oil. Palm sugar and coconut sugar are another two delicious vegan sugar substitutes. Palm sugar comes from the palmyra or sugar palm, while coconut sugar comes from the coconut palm. Coconut sugar can be purchased as dry sugar blocks, as a soft paste, or in granulated form. With its relatively low glycemic index of 35, coconut sugar is a more natural choice for diabetics, those who are monitoring their blood sugar. Palm sugar and coconut sugar are used in Cambodia, Bangladesh, Tamil Nadu, Indonesia, Sri Lanka, Thailand, and Alak, and can often be obtained in Asian food markets. Xylitol is a popular sugar substitute in Europe. It is a naturally occurring sugar found in the fibers of fruits and vegetables. Xylitol tastes as sweet as sugar with only 60% of the calories. This natural sugar substitute has been embraced by diabetics because it does not raise blood sugar levels. Separate Finnish studies, one done at the University of Oulu, have found that xylitol helps to protect against cavities and osteoporosis. Additionally, it inhibits the growth of yeast, supports the immune system by boosting white blood cell activity, and has alkaline properties with no known toxic side effects. Xylitol can be used in recipes as a direct one-to-one replacement of sugar. Barley malt syrup is a vegan sugar alternative that feeds yeast, so it is a good replacement for sugar used in breads. Like molasses, it has a strong flavor and is half as sweet as sugar. Barley malt syrup can be added to soy or nut milk for a malted vegan milk drink, or to vegan ice cream to make a delicious malted vegan milkshake. Barley malt syrup's distinctive taste is also good on squash, in barbecues, and in sweet and sour sauces. You can substitute 1 1/3 cups of barley malt syrup for each cup of sugar. Remember to decrease liquids by 1/4 cup and add 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda for every cup of barley malt syrup used in your recipe. You can also boil barley malt syrup or brown rice syrup for 2 to 3 minutes to reduce it, then measure it and put it into the recipe. Date sugar is another of nature's natural sweeteners. Many people prefer using date sugar because it is not processed in the way many other sugars or syrups are. Date sugar is actually a whole food made of ground-up dates, and it is full of nutrients with a rich flavor. As a whole food, it does not dissolve in liquid as easily as other sweeteners, limiting its uses in some baked goods. Many people find it sweeter than sugar and use a ratio of 2/3 cup of date sugar to replace every cup of sugar. Organic date sugar is likely to be found in health food stores, with less expensive non-organic date sugar available in some Asian or Mediterranean grocery stores. Latin America brings us several popular sugar substitutes, the first of which is stevia, an herb or shrub that grows in subtropical and tropical areas. One species of stevia, known as sweetleaf or sugar leaf, has been adopted as a healthy sugar alternative. The least processed form of stevia used as a sugar substitute is derived from ground-up leaves. It is then processed into a white powder similar to sugar or as an extract and has 300 times the sweetness of sugar. Historically, the Guarani tribes in Brazil and Paraguay used the leaves to sweeten yerba mate drinks or in medicinal teas for a variety of ailments. Many diabetics and people on carbohydrate-restrictive diets find it as a good substitute for sugar because it does not heighten blood sugar levels. Stevia is also very popular in Japan, where it was first cultivated as an alternative to artificial and potentially toxic sweeteners. It is widely used in many products, including Japanese Coca-Cola. Another popular Latin American sweetener comes from the agave plant that grows in the deserts of southwestern US, in Mexico, and in Central and tropical South America. The agave syrup or nectar is harvested in Mexico and ranges from light to dark in color depending upon the concentrations of calcium, magnesium, and potassium. The lighter varieties are an excellent vegan substitute for honey, although somewhat sweeter and thinner. The darker varieties have more of a delicate caramel-like flavor. The last sweetener we will be talking about today is sweet sorghum. This resilient and versatile gift to humanity is the 5th most popular grown crop in the world today, providing a dietary staple for 500 million people in 30 countries across Africa, Central America, and South Asia. Its many varieties provide a food similar to rice, cracked like oats for porridge, and can be popped for snacks. Some types are sweet and can be turned into syrup. It is sometimes referred to as molasses, although more accurately, molasses comes from beets or sugarcane. Sorghum is comparable to honey in color and taste. It can be put on pancakes, biscuits, and toast. It works well in gingerbread and ginger cookies, as a stir-fry base, or in baked beans. Any recipe that calls for honey, corn syrup, maple syrup, or molasses, you can use sorghum as a one-to-one substitute. Today, we have seen a sprinkling of the incredible cornucopia of compassionate vegan sweeteners God has provided to help delight our taste palates. Those with dietary restrictions can also enjoy their sweets with these wonderful sugar alternatives. Please stay tuned now for Between Master and Disciples. Coming up next on Supreme Master Television, we bid you a kind farewell and wish you a day as sweet as nature's heavenly nectars.